Teamster Power 767 Reality Check with Jeff Schenfeld and Garfield Hooper.
All right, no time to waste. We're going to get right into it because, there are some things to say, and it's all about, we need leadership, not catchy slogans.
Yeah. And I know it's going to sound a little hypocritical, us criticizing O'Brien about his podcast. But I've been listening to some of them, so you don't have to. And my take on this is like, it feels like O'Brien's trying to impress somebody.
Yeah.
And it's not
exactly
me.
What it is.
I don't think he's trying to impress me, and I don't think he's trying to impress the members. Now, I will say he had a couple of episodes recently where he had a bunch of members on from the Republic Services and UPS deal with greed. And like, if O'Brien's podcast was like that, like he had members, like, and he was just like in his t-shirts and, talking about what was going on with the various Teamsters, like with the various Teamsters organizations he's in charge of, like, I would be much more positive on this. But I don't need to see the Vivek Ramaswamy's. This guy's pretty vocally anti-union. The Dana Whites, the $500 million, the guy worth $500 million that has basically dedicated his time to keeping fighters in boxing and UFC from unionizing, so they can have they can have proper like health care and shit and rights, as opposed to just being some meat they can throw up on the TV that beat the shit out of each other and for our entertainment. This is not helpful. It's not. You're not giving us good information. You're not giving us both sides here.
Listen, it's not about he's making it about trying to get like people with maybe some notoriety, or not necessarily in a good way, but instead of the rank and file, which are the most important.
Well, and this is what I'm saying. If he was holding these guys accountable for the things that they said, if he was having the discussions, hey, you said something, it's like, why are you anti-union? And they would go back and forth or something like that and try to and argue about stuff. I mean, like, that's what this should be about. You're not going to agree with the Dana Whites and the Vivek Ramaswamys and things like that. Those aren't the part of people that a lot of union members are going to agree with, because they want to take our rights away. But so and you're the leader of the largest union organization in the country. Hold them accountable. Like, if they say these things, if these are the stances that they have, fucking ask them why. Ask them to defend their beliefs, and then you defend yours. Like, you're in that position for a reason. You ought to be able to stand up to these people. You ought to be able to debate with them. And those people wouldn't be willing to come on your show if they were expecting that kind of response, that kind of talk.
They're on there saying, okay, you give me some layups. You're just gonna give me some. You're gonna toss. They'll just lob it in there, and it's absolutely crazy, and I don't listen. Someone send this to me, because I'm not going to listen to his podcast. But he was talking with someone, and they're like, "Well, it's like if I was gonna." The guy was saying, if I was gonna say, "Fuck Trump," and out of the blue, O'Brien goes, "Well, fuck Harris," and the guy was just making a statement, like, "What if I said this?" So you're clearly with the Republicans. Just stand by it. But no, it's like he wants to walk the line. And then when we had the who are you backing? Who are you backing? We didn't back anyone, the Teamsters, right?
Yeah.
Well, come on, Sean. People aren't blind. You wanted to be the Republicans, and if that's the way you want to look at it, then back your decision. Don't start walking the goddamn line. Say what you feel, and that's it. I mean, as the Teamsters president, I think that's a load of fucking crap. But hey, you have every right to your opinion. So, but geez, don't tap dance around it like you did. I mean, it's almost shameful, but the way he's going about it, it just feels like he's turning his back on the the men and women of the union. It just feels like that. right?
It doesn't feel like he has our interests. Like, and it hadn't felt like that to me for a while. Well, I mean, that's been ever since our contract. Like,
No.
we have not been quiet about how we felt. We felt about how our last contract was handled at UPS. So, I don't know. I don't particularly know how people in other Teamsters organizations, Teamsters represented organizations, feel about him.
Yeah. I mean,
does he represent Canada too? Is he the
no, they have their
they
president
have their own
of
president? Okay.
I think his last name is Laporte.
Oh, okay.
He's a Teamsters president in Canada.
Okay.
And they have their vote that's going on right now, and
Yeah.
you can see a lot of people wanting to vote it down.
Yeah.
And it's different things are different up there, but they're voting it down. I'm not saying either way, but it's different, and they're not. I mean, maybe they saw what happened here, right?
Yeah.
Just along the lines of a contract,
Yeah,
different things, but
and some of the things that I've seen about their language it's certainly been like, oh man, I would certainly vote no for that. But once again, I don't live in Canada, so
yeah. Listen, I think that what I see, this is directly what I'm seeing, is he's choosing political games over principle.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's like he wants to have all the fanfare and get favor with one specific party. And you remember he wanted to have it, well, maybe both parties can get involved in this and that. And I get it. The Democrats didn't invite him to the DNC for whatever reason. I wasn't in the room when they decided that. I mean, that's what it was. Maybe they felt betrayed because
they invited a lot of other leaders of other unions.
But they did. They absolutely, the UAW, absolutely.
Yeah.
They did. And for whatever reason, that was their choice, right? So, he's just gone, one way. I mean, if you're saying you want both parties to be involved, just because you weren't invited, you're just going to go one way. You should still fight that good fight. Now you're going away from your so-called principles of what you want, right? I mean, it's not. It makes no sense. I mean, things are just different. When we get at our local, there's no backing from our local, right? And we get no backing from the IBT. I mean, it's a lot of things, but it's going on because I speak to people across the country.
Well, and this is the thing, because you've got a lot of locals that supported the Vote Yes campaign and everything, and I get the feeling that they did that because they knew if they didn't, they were going to face consequences from the national level. And whether or not our local was one of those locals, I don't think it was. They're pretty notorious for supporting whatever contract the IBT says is good, because they can't. I mean, apparently we haven't had a lot of leadership that's capable of critical thinking. It doesn't seem like.
No.
But that shouldn't be. That's what disappoints me about this so much, is that it's what O'Brien says or nothing. So your union, your local, should be able to make its own decisions. Like if your membership comes out and says, "Hey, we don't like this contract," they should feel perfectly fine being able to not support it. But if the IBT is like, "Oh, well, if you don't support it, we're gonna," I don't know, what did they do to
trustee?
Yeah, their trusteeship or whatever. Like, like
they're being a big bully, right?
They're being no better than management.
You got it. That's exactly it. And you want to put people in fear. That's how you want to do it. That's how that's going. And we're watching it happen. There's no, if he's this, no, this is what's happening. This is what he's doing.
Yeah.
Real tough guy does that, right?
Yeah.
Real tough guy, right?
And this is this comes from the top down. You can't be afraid of your membership. You and I aren't afraid of our leadership and our local. We're not afraid of the IBT. And you can't be afraid of management.
Nope.
You can't show fear. You have to be fearless.
you definitely have to be fearless.
You got to be
Everyone
fearless.
needs to know that. You need to be fearless.
But
yes.
this is where it comes down to like all the way down to the shop floor. Like they can't, if you're a steward or you're a representative, like you can't be afraid of your management. If your management is coming at you a certain way, you've got to give every bit as much as they do. Like you are protected. Like you are their equal in those meetings. Like don't put up with their bullshit, and you can't put up with it from your local or from the IBT either. And like if we can't, as the Teamsters, if we can't stand up to one another, then we're not going to be able to stand up to anybody else.
I mean, that's and what do I always say? If we're going to hold management accountable, then we need to hold ourselves accountable.
Exactly.
I mean, so what? What is someone's feelings are going to get hurt if you're held accountable? I mean, get out of here, man. I just, it's like they want it to be like a dictatorship, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, that's simple. That's exactly what it. That's exactly what it is. I don't know, but what we get a lot is at the local level and at the national. At the IBT is a lot of tough talk,
Yeah.
And recently they had that the so-called threat for a strike, in was it 7 locals?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why didn't anyone know about it? I mean, if you have that strike rule in your local, the company, who cares if the company knows about it? I mean, obviously they know about it. What was the secret?
Yeah.
Tell me, what was the secret?
Why did we wait till it was done to say, we were going to strike?
Yeah.
Were you?
Right. Sure. Okay. You were never going to, it's one of those, okay, we're going to, like the fake picketing, and then giving everything we had as leverage, just giving it back to the company so we were never going to strike.
Yeah.
I mean, well, what does that do? What does that do? I mean, it just makes us look weak. And what did we get? Grievances settled for the strike threat?
I mean, I guess.
That's what we got? It's such a problem. And again, a lot of locals are taking on the attitude of the IBT, right? We're going to go with our own members. We're going to do this. We're going to remove stewards. We're going to, we're not going to answer these people. We're only going to help our people. I mean, we see people complaining about that all the time. It's not just me or Garfield. It's a lot of people, and people are angry, and again, I see on Facebook a lot of anonymous people. I don't care for the anonymous thing. I don't. You want to do it with your name on it. But here's the thing. At least they're speaking up, right? And, again, I wish they would use their name. So who cares? If people want to come back at you, let them know who you are and where you come from, right? But at least they're speaking up where in the past they haven't. They need to put them on the table, right?
Yeah.
And just do what they have to do. So what else? Anything else with this situation really bugging you?
Yeah, I mean, it's something we wanted to talk about. We wanted to take a break from the contract stuff and do a episode on this. And I don't know. I feel like we've got to put the union back into a place of power. And, we got out of that. We were out of it with Hoffa. We thought we were getting it. We were getting that place of power with O'Brien, and he's proven that wrong. So now we've got to move on. Like this is where we're at least for another year. And then hopefully that enough people can get out and we can vote for a different candidate coming up in next year. Because I don't feel like Sean O'Brien is fearless. I feel like I feel like he is out for himself. That's what I feel like.
Our union's power has always come from unity, solidarity, from a clear understanding of who's on our side and who's against us.
Yeah.
It's time we just need to remind leadership that they work for us, not the political operatives, not for union busting politicians, and not for their own egos. I mean, it's just that's what it looks like. It's always a political thing, and going around and using everything for campaigning, and just how about doing the job? Oh, so after the strike, the next thing they said, and I've said this before, they wanted to go after for
the Zone 1.
No AC Zone 1, right?
Yeah.
At the close to the end of the summer. Now it stays hot here in Texas.
Yeah.
Till September, October, right?
We'll get at least another month of decent heat. But like August is generally our worst month, and here we are, August 24th. It's gonna be like we're on the downhill swing here. But hey, we got to check on that. We're 2 years after the contract was signed. We're gonna check on that Zone 1 for you. Thanks a lot, Sean.
We're gonna
appreciate that.
Yeah, we're gonna talk big about it. We're gonna spend the union's money on it. Just doing these big things and stuff like that. Why haven't they've been pushed real hard before this? I'm not saying they're a bad thing. We need to put out things, but
why was there a 4-month loophole left in the contract?
Just again, that's the thing. Things were left there. I mean, God Almighty, it was all about just having the big win and not really.
Yeah.
If you really cared about the members, truly cared about the members, stuff would have been put in there for the gap of when we're actually going to get the AC in the trucks.
Well, and here's here's another thing too is, everybody's like, oh, big win with the contract. Big win with the contract. Whatever they want to say, it was historic contract. That's not news. Getting a contract negotiated and put it in there, that's not news. That's not newsworthy. That's not anything. Striking UPS for a week or two and then getting a contract, that's news. That's a win. Do I want to Do I want to strike? Do I want to put the company on hold for 2 weeks? No, I don't.
No.
But
no.
Though, if anything, the last 2 contracts have shown me that if we want to get a decent contract with decent protections for things like the heat or, increased time with our families and things like that, take the money out of it. Take the raises and stuff out of it. We'll get raises,
Yep.
They may not be as much as we want or whatever, but we'll get raises. There will be raises in the contract.
Yeah.
But more vacations, more time off, better protections for 9/5, better protections for 8-hour requests. And everybody's like, oh, well, you guys got quadruple time in this contract. Yeah, we did. You know what else we got? We also got told that if we don't get them off the 9/5 list by the beginning of September, we lose out on overtime during peak.
Yeah.
I don't know what anybody else thinks the concession is, but that fucking sounds like one to me.
It was an absolute concession. Yeah. I mean, we know that.
And don't get me started on the other Cardinals infraction we got in the fucking Southern region.
I know. The 3 no call no shows. Yeah. I mean, that's I spoke to our local president about that. I said, how did you allow that to be in there? Well, it was a small percentage of the people. So you allowed
that small percentage. They don't matter.
Yeah. And you allowed that to be in the contract. You gave them something else to get rid of us. Yep. Right. And
what did we get for it? A week sooner vacation. A week sooner vacation from 10
Instead
to 9.
Of 10 years, it's 9 years.
Yeah,
it's great. That was fantastic. I feel so great about it. I mean, come on. It's mind-boggling. It really is. A lot of things are just mind-boggling, but some things are simple. And what I keep hearing, what they want to put out now is proven leadership. That's what, the O'Brien, Zuckerman, what Oz is putting out. Proven leadership. Really, really. Proven negotiation. Really, really. Show me where. That's a load of crap.
Once again,
it's great. We'll just put out anything.
I don't know about all the Teamster contracts there are. I know we have about 400,000 UPS Teamsters out of the 1.3 million. So we have a solid chunk. Your negotiation in our last contract was shit.
Yeah, what is that? There are people out there who know what they're doing also, right? Yeah. They may not be elected over there, but there are people who know what they were doing, and who would do probably a lot better job. And guess what? A lot of people who wouldn't just be thinking about themselves or a big win, who would actually just do negotiating. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, not thinking about how this is going to affect me and my this and my reelection and how I do that. So, but hey, you know, let's let's keep saying things like that because they sound catchy.
Yeah.
They're not true, but they sound catchy. Okay. And, you know, it's, I'm sure we can go into a lot of other things, but
We
I
could do
think
this
that,
all day.
yeah, we could absolutely do it all day, but we're not. Okay. We've spoken our piece right now, for now. Okay. And we've always wanted our leaders to do better. They didn't want to hear it. They just wanted to do what they wanted to do. Now we're all going to do what we have to do. And hopefully the members will do what they have to do. Come
Exactly.
about a, you know, year and a half, you know,
Yeah.
and again, what do we say? Got to be fearless, right?
Got to be fearless.
Yeah. Got to be fearless. So, glad we talked about this. And, for myself and Garfield, everyone have a good day.
We all deal with national language, but on this podcast, when it comes to supplemental language, we deal mostly with the southern region. And as always, it's best to get advice from your local stewards or business agents. If you would like to reach out to us with any questions, we have an email address, 767realitycheck@gmail.com. That's 767realitycheck@gmail.com.
And remember, strong people stand up for themselves, but the strongest people stand up for others.